Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. We've got a Herman knife, something really cool, and they've done something a little bit different with this knife, so I'm really excited to open it up and check it out for myself and share it with you guys at the same time. This is a model I have reviewed. You can check out my review of this model. Here in a sec, I'll reveal it. But yeah, I've already reviewed it. It's a great knife, but I love looking at variations of Herman knives. Number one, because I personally collect Herman knives. Number two, Herman knives are just awesome. If you own a Herman knife, then you know, right? But number three, they do a lot of really, really creative stuff that actually makes it interesting when there are variations of things. That's something that I personally enjoy. If you're going to do something different, make it different enough that's interesting, and this is definitely one of those things. So, thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Let's find out what we've got here. What model do we have? Oh, goodness, we have a Sting. So, there's a lot of models to choose from. If you want to know what I think about the best, you know, which is the best for general EDC, like, these are pricey. There's going to be plenty of people thinking, who's going to spend that much money and actually EDC it? Well, there are plenty of people who won't, right? But of the people who actually buy them, way more than you could possibly imagine will actually EDC these knives. In terms of knives that cost a lot of money, Herman knives are some of the most utilitarian. They are definitely built for everyday carry. The blade profile, the handle profile, all that stuff is very EDC and user-oriented, for sure. Of all of their models, which are all user-oriented, you literally can't go wrong. These are all S-tier users. The Sting is probably the most well-rounded, right? Unless you need something longer, in which case I would recommend the Slim, but the Sting is probably the most well-rounded model. I personally have one that I use fairly, just maybe throw it in my pocket a couple of times a month, which is a lot considering what I do for a living, which is review knives. So, before we take that off of there, what do we have here? I love the new, like, these are like the initial tier boxes, and then you, like, for the full dress ones, you get like the cool wooden box, which apparently is made locally there in Poland. But these new certificates of, or the COAs are metal now. So let's take a look here. We have serial number 633 for the Sting. We have M398 from 62 to 63. Oh my gosh. So that's crazy. Number one, they have definitely increased the hardness. M398 has I mean, this is not a tough steel, guys. This is a steel, you know, made by Bowler that's obviously, you know, meant as like a alternative to M390 with a much larger emphasis on edge retention, but not quite as high in the corrosion resistance department, and certainly not as tough. And M390, you know, on its own isn't tough. But getting M398 to 62 to 63 is wackadoo. This is crazy town for edge retention. I'll let you guys look into the details of that, but yeah, that's pretty wild, especially considering the geometry we're going to get with this guy. Now, it looks pretty unassuming, right? Handle titanium, backspacer titanium. Hang on a second. Just a moment. Whoa! You said titanium, not titanium Damascus. Actually, I love that these come with the drivers and everything now. Actually, this is not titanium Damascus. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Herman! Oh my, so, oh man, I thought I knew. I was looking at the pictures and they told me, they said it's really hard to get an idea of what's happening here with pictures. Yeah, you're right. So this is not titanium Damascus. It's actually a laser engraving, but look at how they've done this. So first of all, if you're wondering, is there depth? Yes, subtle depth. Not an irritating depth or anything like that, but there is depth. Why is this a big deal? Number one, the contrast between the flat ano and this almost we got to zoom in. It's like it's subtly textured. Oh my gosh, the reflectivity of the gold, which is the part that's sunk in, right? This is different from an anomascus. Yes, we have two different, you know, contrasting anodized layers here. They're not really layers, right? It's just the depth is anodized. An Anamascus would be all surface, right? This is cut deeper into the titanium. They've cut this in and then anodized this area to give it that depth. But then we have a higher reflectivity in the gold and very, very subtle, I don't know if it's texturing or, I don't know if they like, I mean, it couldn't be tumbled. How would they tumble those parts? Yeah, wow, that is really cool. So this is definitely way better looking than your typical Anamascus, which was a fun thing for a while, but I don't think that that's really, caught on. I don't know how popular this will be, but for people looking at Herman knives and going, man, not everybody likes the bright and colorful stuff. And if you don't like the bright and colorful stuff, don't worry, because Herman Knives does so many different combinations of blade and handle finish on the gray and black scale. Like so many different ones. They've got the textured, kind of the orange peel blades, the orange peel handle. They got the tumbled handles. They got the DLC, right? They do all of that stuff. But for people wanting the bright and colorful stuff, when you go and find a Timascus Herman, it's usually combined with a Lema Damax or Balbach Damast or Damacor or Damasteel. So what happens to the price tag? Well, it goes up to about $3,000, right? Not likely you're going to find a Timascus or black Timascus version of their knife that is not combined with an equally exotic blade material. So you're probably looking at $2,500 bare minimum, all the way up to about $3,500. Not a lot of people beating down doors for knives in that price range, but there definitely are buyers for it. For people who like the idea of getting that look with an interesting element without it being kind of dumbed down to, your kind of surface Anamascus, which again is very, very similar. These laser engraved ones that kind of capture the aesthetic of it, it might be a good option, because I think, oh boy, of course, this I went on talking forever and forgot to get the blade out. But the detent on these is so good. As far as like my favorite detents go, it's pretty much everything except for on the smaller stuff like the Micro Sting and the B. Like I find those to be a little bit light, but the detent on the Sting and the Slim and the Dragonfly and the Ishtar, man, that's just perfect. I really, really like that. Instead of my shirt, I should probably use the Herman microfiber cloth that it comes with, just to clean this up just a little bit. But you're going to have, in this case, we have like this is kind of their textured, if you want to call that an eggshell or an orange, probably closer to an eggshell finish on this fully flat ground drop point blade with a perfect, absolutely beautiful, I guess it's close to a polished bevel, and then M398. So again, this is obviously not the type of knife that you're going to take out and like use super duper hard, but for continuous cutting on, light, medium materials, that thing will cut forever. Now, when it comes time to sharpen, M398, not going to be the friendliest thing, especially if you've been using it enough that you have to do some real sharpening and not just a little bit of touch-up. That's definitely not going to be super duper fun. When I pointed out the first time I had a Herman knife in M398, I think it came at like 61 HRC, and somebody pointed out that while that will still, blow the doors off of regular M390, like if you took a 61 HRC or even a 62 HRC M390 blade and ran it up against a 61 HRC M398 blade with the equivalent geometry, the M398 will still blow the doors off of M390. But M398 has a higher optimal tier. This is, I believe, right there. I think the optimal tier for M398 is either 6263 or 6264, somewhere in there. This is right there. So I would really like to experience, this is the hardest M398 blade that I've ever experienced. I would really, really like to see exactly how long something like this lasts before the edge starts to lose its initial, sharpness. Anyways, I do like this. I think it's really cool. I've already reviewed the Sting, and it is an exceptional EDC knife, specifically for people looking to spend this type of money, right? The base price of a Sting, I keep wanting to say Slim, I have a Sting, I think is somewhere around $700 to $750. And if you want my opinion, for those of you looking to spend money in that price point, you've experienced everything leading up to that, and you're looking for the next level up, yes, I absolutely do recommend this. To people just starting off in their knife journey or just looking for a good tool, absolutely not. Obviously, start at the lower, start at like the $30 price point. If you're new to my channel, there's no reason to immediately come through the gate and spend that type of money on a knife, right? Go through the journey and experience what you, appreciate. Find out what you appreciate and what you need and what you want in a knife before you get up to a point where you're considering something like this. But yeah, these are super cool. I like this. This is a lot more detailed in person than I thought it was going to be. And I've already been touching it, so it's already kind of like dulled the colors and things. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this. If they decide to do this laser stuff, I mean, that's a really good. Oh, look at that. The cloth has the the different models in there. But this is going to allow people to get that flashy aesthetic without having to pay $2,500, $3,000, $3,500. So, anyways, that's going to be it today, guys. Thank you so much to Herman Knives for letting me share this with everybody. Anyways, please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.